Alrighty then. Hello, greetings and salutations. Before we go live, I have got some buttons. I know, I've got buttons. It's crazy. Yes, I'm going to push my buttons. My players are pushing my buttons because again, I'm in the before screen and they decide, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to talk right now while no one can hear us. Just a bug dag. But yeah, anyway, I've been working on some transition bebop doodad thingies. So if the whole stream crashes, I apologize. But we're going to see if this works as I go live and do this thing. And the button gets pushed and a swoopity! Aha! Yes, I did it. I did the thing. Hi, everyone. Welcome. It is so good to see all of you. How are you? How have you been? I hope you liked it. Do you want to see the swoopity again? I'm going to try swoopity again. Oh, the swoopity. Oh.
I'm watching it on stream.
Yeah, we need to watch it on the stream because you're not sharing with us.
Am I not? Oh, well, there you go. You guys can see that. I'll do it one more time. I'll do it one more time for my players so my players can see. You ready? Ah, swoopity. There the swoopity back in. How good's that? I love that. All the buttons. Special thanks to Mudcat, who is a very lovely bean who does the editing for Careful Cantrip, who yeah, you know, I got to have a chat with and learn about all the things and learn how to do the swoopities. And that is it. Yay. There we go. Cool. So good to see everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. My name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. And we are playing Pathfinder, the 7 Dooms of Sandpoint. Bum, bum, bum. This is an incredible adventure written by the folks over at Paizo. Honestly, I'm so excited to introduce you guys to this. There is no location in the Pathfinder universe that I know better than this small, unassuming, and quaint little town. And I cannot wait to share it with those of you who have not been here before and take those of you who have been to my version of events which have unfurled in this location. So I'm super happy, super keen. Christina, what the fuck? Thank you. I haven't said or done anything yet. Christina!
Here comes the Trask.
Calm down. Well, I mean, yeah, okay, Trask it is then. I mean, yeah, I haven't even said what this is.
Just became a one-shot. Oh, no.
Yeah, it just became a one-shot. That's a good one. All right. Calm down, folks. Calm down, okay? We gotta look cool. Guys, we gotta look cool in front of Christina, okay? Just chill, okay?
That will never happen.
I know. All right. So, guys, let's, also, Tato, hi. Hi, Tato. It's nice to see you as well. Votaria, great to see you. Senhouse in the house. McClover, freaking good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well, and I hope the family is celebrating in the highest of spirits. Avarian, you're here. I can see you. I can literally see you.
Hello. Yeah.
Schooly
I'm sorry about that.
I can see you as well. Raikon, greetings and salutations, my good friend. And our dear friend Vala, wonderful to see you here this early in the morning. I hope you're having a great morning. Yeah, hope you're enjoying your coffee and your Ovaltine and all the things. Dead like me, big love hearts, my friend. Welcome in. All right, and for those of you who are lurking, who I have missed, also welcome. Now, before we begin, guys, as always, we need to take a quick moment to thank the people who have helped bring this channel to where it is now, and that is, of course, through our sponsors. Guys, first of all, let's talk about Hero Forge. Hero Forge is a wonderful and amazing 3D model making program that allows you to create, design, and manifest these incredible characters for you to use in your TTRPG adventures. You can see on my screen here, I have a number of characters that represent each of my different players, and I've got to say, Hero Forge allows just so much versatility. Oops. Don't do that. So much versatility for any kind of design. It doesn't matter whether or not you are playing a underwater Azarketi Gilman or a Null or, hey, even just a thuggish, brutish human. Hero Forge has got so many different options for you to play around with and have a great time with. And that is what we have here. We have all these really cool characters for you guys. Now, not only do they make these characters, not only can you make these characters, but you can also get them 3D printed for your use at your home table as well, which is amazing. And I remembered to bring it into the studio this time. They also come available in 2D standees, which are actually incredibly high quality. And I mean, I do stand by the quality of the actual prints themselves. Even the color prints are really good. But honestly, the freaking 2D standees always blow my mind. It is just spectacular, and I love that they've actually included a proper front and reverse to each of these 2D models as well. So Hero Forge, yeah, go check it out. Bunch of cool stuff. Next up, of course, we have Sirenscape for the wonderful sound sets that you'll be hearing today, including the sound set for this adventure.
Ooh.
There's actually an official sound set for this adventure, which I'm going to play around with. Now, I am going to be discovering stuff with it alongside my players, mostly because, to be honest, I don't have time to go through and listen to every single thing that's here. There's just so much stuff here. So when it says something, I'm just going to push the button, and I'm going to see what happens. That's basically it. And we're going to learn together if I spoil things. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, go check out Sirenscape. And lastly, Fantasy Grounds for our VTT of choice. Ta-da! Yay! Now guys, I would introduce my players and the characters, but we haven't properly met them. Last week we had our Session 0, but today this is a fresh game. Now I want you guys to remember, Session 0 for me is never a in-canon, hardcover, this is how you must play because it was Session 0. Session 0 is feeling it out, and it very much allows my players to feel out where they're at. So today, I want everyone in our audience who was here last week for the Session 0, and of course my lovely players, to take what they want from Session 0 and bring it forward to Session 1, but don't feel indentured to those ideas and stuff. If you wish to change stuff, now is the time to do it. And of course, there's another big change from Session 0 that we do have here on the screen, and that is, of course, the presence of our dear friend, Matt. Welcome back! Woo!
Hello, it's great to be back. It's I've missed these games. It's good to get back and do some more mayhem in Sandpoint. I love Sandpoint. One of my favorite places.
Well, it's wonderful to get you to see you do that. Now, for those of you who don't know, Matt is also All Things Fantasy, and he is currently running games over on his channel, including games that are set in the same location. So, hey, if you're from his community and you've come over as well, hopefully, I will not be too not disillusion you too much with my version of things. So there you go. Yeah.
Don't worry.
Hey, DM Dave is in the chat. What up, Dave? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. Grab a seat. Grab something tasty. All right, guys. Without introducing your character, actually, you know what? Just introduce your name, your race, and your class. Don't go too deep into who your characters are just yet, because I want to see them on the table. But for the very, very first time for this campaign, guys, introduce yourselves and what you're going to be playing, starting with none other than the wonderful Schoolie.
Hello, so Skillet playing Cinderella and Elven Cleric.
I'm Varian CA. I'm playing Weston Sin, a dwarven gunslinger.
I'm Rock, and I'm playing Zayak, the Knoll Thaumaturge. I think. Did I say that right?
Thaumaturge. But yeah, close enough.
Hi, I'm Neil from Immersion Diversion. I'm playing Peyton. He's a human rogue.
And once again, I'm Matt from All Things Fantasy. I play Navenda, the human magus.
Fucking amazing. And so not appearing in this film is none other than Sean, who plays the role of Titus, who is an Azarketi something.
Tiefling.
Champion.
Thank you, champion.
Elderketty champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A tiefling Azarketi champion. Yeah, there you go. All the above. Now, before we kick off, we have one last person to thank before we kick off into our stream, and that is, of course, you guys in the chat. Thank you so much for donating your time and just being a part of the show today. This is the launch of our new series, so it's always even more important that when you guys are here, we like to make sure that you guys feel warm, safe, and welcomed. And there are a number of ways we do that here on the Dead Aussie Gamer channel. First of all, every single game we have is incredibly interactive. There are so many ways for you to interact very directly with the group as we play. Starting, of course, with channel points. Just by watching the show, you earn channel points. And for those of you who are subscribers, you earn channel points at twice as the rate, I think, or something equivalent. And those channel points can be used to redeem redeem a number of rewards, including insight bonuses, inspiration, wandering monsters, divine intervention, a ton of cool stuff there that is always there for you to work on as long as you watch my shows. And I run enough that, you know, people get them a lot. So there you go. For those of you who do have some disposable income and want to help Dag with his monthly Dag support, which you can see there, then of course we have a number of ways for you to do a bunch of cool stuff. Starting, of course, with $5. For those of you who donate $5, you can donate either a red mark for my lovely players. You know what? Let's show off these marks because we are markless at the moment. These red marks here, as you can see on Navanda, are hero points. They can be used to stave off death, petition the GM for nonsense that isn't in the rules, or roll with advantage. Alternatively, you can give a purple mark to me for $5. These are jinx points and can be used to they can be used to complicate an issue, have the enemies roll with advantage, or I can counter a hero point with one of these jinx points. There you go. For $10, I have 2 decks of cards in front of me. The first $10, sorry, not the first $10. The first deck I have for the $10 reward is a heroic action card. These heroic actions are unique one-off powers that are free actions that my players will get to use. You get to choose the player, I draw a random card, and they then have that power. They can choose to pass this power on to other players or use it for themselves. Either way, they can only hold on to one of these powers between sessions. And there is a new rule that I'm applying here as well, and that is our heroes will be able to use this card as a hero point as well if they choose not to use the unique power for it. The second use of the $10 donation is yes, I've still mixed my cards in. Is my deck of flashbacks and plot twists. I will draw 3 cards from this deck, and the card that you choose for your $10 donation gets implemented into the game. So I would basically go, save the day. So somewhere throughout the game today, I would try and, you know, roll that into the adventure. So that is the $10 donation there. For $20, you can give someone the coveted golden natural 20. And we have been granted the glorious benefit from our incredibly generous donator, Christine, for a natural 20 to all of our amazing players.
Whoa.
So everyone gets a nat 20. You get a nat 20. You get a nat 20. Everybody gets a nat 20. Boo-boo. Boom, there they are. Look at that. Everything's golden. I love it. I just need to move that ever so slightly. There we go. Good. All right, there you go. So what a freaking generous donation. Thank you so freaking much, Christina. I'm sure my players are going to make very good use of that very soon. Okay. That was our $20 donation. Now we have our big $50 donation. The $50 donation, of course, comes as 2 rewards. Either a magic item for a player of your choice. This item can either be a homebrew item you design and I will stat up and create for my players, a set item that I will create for them based on their characters, or something from their own wish list that they are trying to get. We also have had in the pre-donation, prior to this exact game, a donation from our dear supporter McClover, who donated a $50 donation to fucking everyone. So everyone has now got a magic item, and I would like for everyone to very quickly, if you may, please inform our dear, dear friend and supporter McClover of the item that you went with. Let's start in reverse order this
Clover
time.
did another one.
Neil, I can
Sorry,
see it. It's on my chat.
Okay.
You know, I got these big
I'm sorry.
alerts
Yes,
on my
you're
fucking
good.
thing.
I'm good.
Fucking what'd you get, Neil? I said, what did you get, Neil?
Oh no, I wasn't going to talk about what I got yet. I thought we were going to
I'm
go in
telling you
order.
what you look, I will take it away from you. What
Okay,
did you...
fine. I got a +1 striking hooked Leomano.
A what?
It's a Leomano. It's a
Well, no, what Leo Mano with you? Come on, tell me what
it's a bat with shark teeth on it.
Nice. I love that. Brilliant.
Yeah, but it's got striking and hooked on it.
I love that. That's freaking awesome. All right, Navanda, what was your magic item?
I got something similar, but I've got a ornately carved short bow with patterns of clover carved into it. All
Oh, love that. That's amazing. Zayak, what about you? What was your magic item?
I could hit harder with my sword cane. I think that's
Okay.
my item. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep. All right. Westonson, what about you?
I got a striking axe musket.
All right. Cinderio.
Yep. And after all of them, you got me that's went for something a bit more kind. I've got a nice pair of white gloves to slap the blood back into each of these people.
Nice. Some healing gloves. Brilliant. Absolutely love it. I'm glad that you all didn't just go for a weapon. I'm just like, okay. But very nice, very nice. And again, thank you, McClover, for that. It is a very generous, very kind donation. As is your new one that's just come in, and of course Christina as well, who has donated so kindly for everyone starting off. Now, real quick, McClover, with a $30 donation, has just awarded all of our lovely players
Whoa.
a hero point.
Woo!
I just need to move
Thank you.
Peyton's ever so slightly. There we go. All right. And let's give those people them hero points, yo. There we go. Sorry, I just need to move the hero points ever so slightly. I forgot to. Oh, my bad. Okay, there we go. And that one should be okay. Okay, and then a hero point for you. And a hero point for you. Look at that. It's so pretty. All right, there we go. Wait, what? There we go. That's it. Boom. There it is. All right, everyone has their hero points. Woo! Okay. So
Yay, Vicky.
everyone's got their hero points. Everyone's got their nat 20s. The $50 donation, again, has the magic items. The other use for our $50 is, of course, to make things even more complicated by increasing the difficulty of the challenge our heroes are facing. This could be increasing the strength of the monster, turning a minion into a boss into a super boss, and a super boss into a, oh god, it's got my leg. Or alternatively, you that $50 will make the situation more dire, more dangerous, or it might up the stakes, making there to be more at risk should our players fail. A whole bunch of cool stuff. I disappeared. What do you mean? Dags? Oh, mine disappeared. My what disappeared? Oh, what did I disappear? But yeah. This sounds exactly like your idea, Raina. Does it? Does it sound like your idea? That's amazing. Way to copy you. Oh, that was hilarious. I love the fact that chat called you out on that too. All right. But guys, we do have one last donation. So, the boss buff and the magic item, they're the $50 ones, but we do have a superstar $100 donation. This is our secret menu item. The secret menu item only gets discussed at the beginning of the game and never again because I am very nervous about asking for it. It is a huge boost to the channel, a huge, massive support to myself and all the cool stuff that I do. But it comes with a thing that will very, very heavily influence the game in a very tangible way. Now, because we are starting in a campaign that isn't going to be very town-based, we are going to do some traveling, of course, around the region of around Sandpoint, but Sandpoint is going to be the major hub that the group is going to stay in. And I could think of no better way to start episode 1 and the secret menu item than with you will get to create a notable NPC. You will get a purpose in the town. You will get a particular thing that the group will need, and you will then represent that character. So, for example, if going with Starbucks is a great thing. If you want to, if for the $100 secret menu item, you will get not only a Hero Forge mini of your character that you designed, made by me. I will also then put Starbucks into the city of Sandpoint somewhere. I will also make your character not only a noteworthy NPC, but a quest entirely surrounding that NPC that the group will need to participate with. And then as we build up the town, they're going to be doing things to save the town, and your character, I know this is going to sound a bit lame, but go with me on this. Your character will be imperiled after I make them love you. And that is going to be the whole thing. This is going to be basically a very, very enjoyable character. Unless you want them to be an asshole and you want to insert just this like, I want to put the crazy cat lady in. And the crazy cat lady keeps throwing soggy boots that have been soaked in milk overnight at the players. Great, fantastic. That's what's going to happen. And that is going to be a notable NPC every session. Soggy boot lady is going to fucking throw shoes, whatever. So that is our secret menu item. The secret menu item is this, and there is no cap on that for today. So as many people as who wants to do that may, but in future games, obviously that's not always going to be the reward. I'm not gonna lie, that's probably gonna be my secret menu item when I haven't thought about what one should be. So there you go. Whew, there we go. We got there in the end.
You see Christina's message about what was missing?
Christy, oh yes, what was missing?
You're not 20.
I have a nat 20. I am not gonna lie, I just presumed it was all the players. Because, I just did. Yay! Look, there he is, my own little nat 20. He's such a good boy. Thank you, Christine. Freaking legend, you. All right. With that being said, I think we're ready to go. You guys ready to go?
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, I think I can think of no better way to start than to hit this button that says the 7 Dooms of Sandpoint intro. All right. Nestled on the coast, in the northern continent of Avestan, along the shores of the Varisian countryside, lies a quaint little town known as Sandpoint. Upon entering, most find a small and unassuming wooden sign, which says, "Welcome to Sandpoint. Take a moment to see yourselves as we see you." And a small mirror attached to said sign hangs listlessly against the salty spray of the ocean nearby. Now, Sandpoint has gone through many trials and tribulations over the years. The late unpleasantness, the attacks by goblin raiders, giants, and other creatures of these far and wide lands. But despite all of this, under the shade of the crumbling ruins of the old light, this town of Sandpoint has endured. The people are hearty. The food is wholesome and warm, and heroes are plentiful. And it is to a new group of heroes that we find ourselves drawn. Starting with one who remains somewhat adjacent, just outside of town. Navander, could you describe your early morning, please? And yourself.
Yes, of course. So Navander wakes up and he hears the coughing sounds coming from his wife beside him. So he wakes up, he goes out, he makes her a nice cup of leaf juice. Nice warm cup of leaf juice with a bit of honey and a bit of lemon. And he takes that in with a bit of toast as he goes about his day. He lives in a small cottage. There's a little chicken coop beside it that has a bit of a hole in it. So he shakes his head and shakes his head and mumbles to himself that he has to get that fixed. As he's potting around, he suddenly realizes that he actually had to go into town today. He has given a job.
I'm just gonna half stop you there. You haven't played in a while, have you? You've got your GM
Not,
hat.
not for about 5 weeks.
I know. I want to give you a big hug. You've got your GM hat on, and I was like, oh, so I don't get to play your wife,
Sorry.
getting cheese
Sorry,
juice.
sorry.
I don't get to have that conversation. Oh, I guess. Fuck me, right? I was just like, I was ready to go into it and do this whole thing, and I'm like, oh man, he's just gone straight into GM mode. It's been a while. Yeah, that's okay. Would you like me to have a scene with you? Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
as you come out, very blasphemously calling tea leaf juice, you make your way over to the kitchen, in which you see your wife, an elven woman with very very golden blonde hair. She is dressed in brown leathers with a symbol upon it, bearing the mark of Fort Rannoch, a fortress not too far away from the town, maybe a good few hours trek, that nestles in the foothills of Hook Mountain. This is your wife, Shalala. As you hand her the tea, she breathes it in deep. Thank you, dear. Are you going into town today? I heard that Father Xantus called for you.
Oh, yes, he did. Are you gonna be okay here? You're gonna be fine?
Yes, of course, of course. After all, you've looked after the home while I've been scouting through the country. I think it's only fair that I take the reins for a little while. You left me very... She picks up what looks to be this bit of parchment with detailed instructions. You've left me quite a thorough list of things to do.
Well, like I said, you don't have to do all of it, but, the majority would be nice.
She stands up and says, "Oh, would it now?" And as she smiles, she puts the leaf juice down on the table bench behind you so that her arms reach onto both sides of you. As she then wraps around you, grabbing onto your lower waist and pulling you in close. As you look into her azure eyes and she looks into yours, you recount a flashback. Oh, that was actually very, very random and very, very, very beautiful. All right. The flashback I want to hear from you is how you met your wife.
It was at Fort Rannoch that we met, if I believe correctly. I was just hired on as a member of the to help the Order of the Black Arrow. We were very... Excuse me for a second, sorry. Continue on.
Nope, okay, yep, no worries. Okay, as you recount the story, we are going to... Oh, baby! No, I'm just going to watch that for a second. Baby! Come back! Bring doggy back! Never mind, okay, fine, whatever. Alright, we're going to move across town, away from the Navander home. Instead, now to a different location. We find ourselves at a rough and tumbled-looking area. A bar that looks like it probably hasn't seen the wet side of a rag in quite some time. This is the Hagfish. Peyton, if you would.
Right. I think Peyton just kind of standing behind the bar, cleaning some glasses, while kind of putting away all the alcohol and the glasses and stuff that he had taken out to pour a recent drink.
In the morning?
Kind of waiting for a new... People drink in the morning.
Okay.
Not me.
Yeah.
It's got to be 10 a.m. somewhere.
That's true. It's
Yeah.
fair. Couple of like salty sea dogs from the Fisher Port happen to have crawled in for a few in the morning.
I think bar opens at 8, right? 9? I
Uh,
don't know.
I mean, probably not, but sure, why not? You remember a conversation you had with Jagger about like morning clients, and he said, Oh, you have money? Oh, well, I'm serving whatever you left out last night.
Yeah,
And
sure.
so, there you are.
Thanks.
As you
Alright.
as you do so, in walks what looks to be a middle-aged looking halfling. This is Solus. Hey, Peyton. Got your shipment of rum here in the cart for you.
Ah!
I
Thanks
thought
a
you
lot,
weren't
Solus.
working today.
There's a lot of things I don't do.
Yeah. Okay.
Working
Uh,
isn't one of those today. So I'm working.
Not working today. Working. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, are you gonna help me unload this?
Yeah, I'll be right out. I'm just putting some stuff away quick.
Okay. He
Jargy!
fuck off.
Solus is here! Gonna help him.
And you felt like you needed to fucking tell me that way? I'm fucking
You can
sleeping!
counter
You
with-
hear a beer
Alright.
bottle smash against the wall.
Right?
Oh, my
I'm back.
abusive employer. Gosh, he's such a character.
I'm gonna go help Solus.
All right, you go and you begin to unload the various barrels of rum. As you roll them in, you get a message coming from a young lad who has run in and said, I have a letter here for Jeggery.
That'd be Jargy?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I'll hand it to him.
You get handed the note.
Thank you.
The note seems to be from the Church of Desna. It is a letter addressed from none other than Father Xantus, the local priest.
Ah. Okay.
As Solus finishes up and wheels his cart away, he begins to make his round, kind of the whole length of the dockyard. So he's not just bringing stuff to you; he's bringing stuff to the other shops
Yeah.
as well. So he hasn't gone far. But Peyton, you hold the letter in your hand. What do you do now?
I go to Jargy's door and I just knock on it. Jargy, got a letter. Messenger boy came with it. It's from Xanthus.
There is no response.
Well, haven't been scolded by him from leaving the bar once before. I'm gonna open the letter.
All right.
See what it says.
The letter is a summons. It is a request for actually you to come and speak with Father Xantus on a task that needs to be done. He was hoping that that you would be free today and that you'd be able to help out.
Hmm.
Now, we'll pan away here for a moment and return just very quickly back to Navander, because I want to hear the true love story real quick. So, Navander, you had met your wife at Fort Rannoch.
Yes. So Navander didn't really know who she was at the time. She was just one of the people there. But what really took Navander was the way she treated the animals at the place, the way she treated the horses, the way she treated just the smile she had as she was settling the horses and playing with the animals.
I just imagine in this scene, like, you know, as your memories go to her, she's just got like this really stern face, like this really badass.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like, you know, you're like, I remember like the warm look in her eye, and she's just like,
So he's looking at it. There's like this vibrant pink hue around her. Meanwhile, she's like,
yep, exactly.
yeah.
Nice, I love it. And indeed, it was love at first sight, as the two of you became close over the defense of Hook Mountain. The ogres that came down from Hook Mountain, the repairing of the dam, you and Shalelu, as well as her father, Captain, who is captain of the fort, fought valiantly and hard. You remember through the rivers of blood and the slaughter that happened from these ogres. Every now and then you would like catch eyes with one another. You remember that there was an alchemical flask that got dropped from a bag that you were gonna throw at one of the ogres. You reach down to go and grab it, and then she reaches and touches your hand at the same time. You look up and you see each other in the eye as you grab it, and she grabs onto like the like mouth of like one of the ogres as you throw it into their jaw. She then slams it shut, and the ogre's head explodes, and this bloody rain pours down on the two of you as you hold hands.
Damn.
That was
That's
when we had
romantic.
our first kiss, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
Ew.
Yuck. So that's all I got. Just yuck. All right, Neil, you ready for your
And-
flashback now?
yeah.
All right, your flashback. Ooh, okay. Heirloom. This is an interesting one. Heirloom. Okay, your character.
Ooh.
Before you leave, you remember that there is something very important that you want very much to bring with you if you are going to go and speak to Father Xantas. It is something very precious and very dear to you, as it is an heirloom item. Go ahead.
Okay. I think definitely go run upstairs. Assuming I have a room at this bar as well. I'm gonna run upstairs and go to my dresser, and I pull out a old necklace that was owned by my mother. Is the only thing that was retrieved of theirs from the fire from way back when, and I had kept it on me, and it was a one of my few treasures. It has a picture of my parents in it.
All right. You hold the pendant close to you, and as you do so, you contemplate the course that your life took after you had lost your parents. You remember the orphanage. You remember the name of the person who raised you,
Mm-hmm.
which was?
His name.
If I mispronounce it, I'm sorry. It was Ilisari Gendithus,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
As
I'm
you
sorry.
as you recall your time in the orphanage, eventually becoming an adult and finding your work on the shipping lanes, eventually finding work here at the Hagfish with the crotchety old Jegare who owns the place. But through it all, it never made you forget what was really important. It never made you forget family. As you head out, we now pan away to a different location. Zayak. Coming into town, crossing by one of the nearby rope bridges that lie to the east, you can see that sign that I mentioned previously. Welcome to Sandpoint. Take a moment to see yourself as we see you. And you take a moment, stopping and looking into the mirror. What do you see?
What do I see? All right. You see a very you see a very hairy, gnoll, a dyed, not the usual color of a gnoll. He's not albino, but he's almost like his fur is all white, and his clothes don't match that. His clothes are very dark. He's wearing a cape and his hat, and is wearing a monocle too, and on his side you see a lantern tied to his belt, and he's walking with it looks like a cane.
not that it matters, but to be slightly pedantic, are you hairy for a gnoll, or are you like just a gnoll?
I think I'm a little bit hairier than a regular gnoll. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So very, very big furs, which means you actually find it is quite hot here. The weather is not all that pleasant with your massive fur. You make do, of course, under the shade of your the hat that you're currently wearing, but yes, the floof does not do you favors. As you make your way across the bridge, it sways under the wind, and your hat suddenly blows from your head. It flies off the bridge and down towards the waters, where you can see a strange-looking Azarketi man. I say strange only in the fact that they have two very large horns emblazoned upon their head. As Titus reaches up and grabs hold of the hat, he says, "Hi there! This is yours, I believe."
Yes. Thanks for grabbing it.
Ah, it's all right. Look, you new in town?
Yes.
Well, stranger, my name is Titus. Head over to the church. I'm sure the priest would be more than happy to welcome you. I'll bring your hat to you there.
Can't you just bring it up to me now?
It's a 40-foot fall down to the waterside. It's why I'm yelling. I'm establishing distance without actually having to describe the precise units of measure between yourself and me. Seemed like a good theatrical technique, but perhaps maybe it was a bit vague.
Fine.
Okay.
I'll meet you at the church.
Alright, it's the big building. You can't miss it.
That one right there. I don't know if you can. Like,
Also,
let's see a tip of it.
that's the one. Also, what's your name?
They call me Zayak.
I'm not doing it. Fuck you. I know exactly what everyone wants. You're not getting it from me. Okay. All right, Zach.
What?
As your hat flies off and over the edge to where Titus is, you are in town for a very particular reason, and ironically, for your flashback, you're gonna share and divulge that reason, as yours is a familiar face. Divine intervention. I mean,
What? What?
What's your name? All right. So I'm gonna play the divine intervention card here. We will play it in some way, shape, or form. But I'm gonna say that we're gonna wait until we get to the church for it, because I'm not undoing meeting Titus. So yes, thank you, reading. All right, Zayak, who are you here to meet, and how do you know them?
All right. I'm Oh wait. I just realized I forgot to do the accent. Oh well. I'm here to meet an old friend. I'm checking on them. I'm gonna say they're one of their family members was also a monster hunter, and I'm checking on to see if he's doing okay. It's been a while since I've seen him, or she. I don't. Yeah.
All right, what was the name again?
Yeah. The name of the friend?
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Let's call her Lyra.
Lyra?
Yeah.
Okay.
Write it down, because I did not, and I will not remember. So yes, you're here to see a woman called Lyra. Okay. Moving on. The next person we see is lying in an alleyway, not too far away, amongst a pile of very pillowy-looking garbage. We see a rather soused soldier coming to very slightly at the sharp jolts from a boot belonging to one of the local guards. Now, Sandpoint doesn't normally have too many guards, but with all the calamities that it has faced over time, the militia has evolved to about a handful of maybe 6 guards at most across the town. At any given time, there is 2 guards and likely the sheriff milling about. This individual is going to be named by the chat. So chat, throw out some names for this guard. I am absolutely 100% not going to make you fall in love with him, then kill him. Do not worry. Anyway, yes.
They're not appearing in this.
So we've got an Adam. Any other names? But yes, Westonson, you get booted at the bottom of the shoe a couple of times. Oi, Wes! Wes! Come on, up you get.
Yeah, get a hand.
He sighs and reaches down, grabs you firmly by the forearm, and starts to pull you up.
I stagger forward heavily into him. Oh,
He holds and support you. He's not too small, so he's able to kind of catch you. Could you describe your character, please?
about 4-footish dwarf, kind of stocky, just about as wide as he is tall, wearing disheveled, dirty uniform, guard's uniform, hat, currently sitting in the garbage behind me. Slung on my back is a musket axe. On my side is a pistol, various bags and pouches. Not entirely sure which smells worse, my breath or the alchemical component bag hanging to my side. If you pulled 10 people, 5 would go on either side. Dark, very worn skin, and definitely out of focus. Just general appearance seemed to be slightly out of focus.
Okay. This soldier's name is... You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna call him Brennan. I saw Brenna, and now I'm just stuck with Brennan Lee Mulligan. Alright. The soldier,
Now I
Brenna.
picture Brendan Lee Mulligan as a...
Yeah, basically, it's just a random cameo in a thing that he's not even involved in. So he turns around and he says, "Damn it, Wes, I can't keep picking you up like this every single time."
You could laugh your eyes.
Come on.
Thanks.
No, you're right. Let's get you sobered up then.
I stagger back into the bags of garbage, knock a few over, pull my hat out, kind of shake what's ever in it, put on my hat, my head, stumble. Yeah. Food would probably do me some good.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, look, get yourself cleaned up. I might have a job for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coin purse is a bit light. I could use some. Yeah. Which side of town am I on? Where?
You were on the docks.
I stagger out.
The far south side is where you find yourself as you get your bearings.
Okay.
Sandpoint is so small. It is very easy to it's very easy to get your bearings.
I stagger out into the greater dock area, kind of glance left to right. Way going to the hag or someplace more reputable. Take 2 stumbles towards the hag, and then just the gust of wind comes in. I stumble back down the street towards a more reputable tavern to get food.
Nice. All right.
Every so often, I trip on a puddle, land on a knee, pull myself back up, say hello to people as I'm walking down the street, up close and personal, like.
Oh yeah, most people try to give you a wide berth. It is a relatively friendly town for sure. But you know, on more than one occasion, you know that you've, you know, like again, drunken disorderly is not a very playful or colorful thing to the consumption levels that you've managed to endure. As for your particular thing, hindsight. All right. As your head throbs and your body aches, realizing you have a job, and realizing that, you know, obviously, the situation you're in is not the most conducive of a good job. You realize that maybe it's a good chance for you to reflect. So so I'd like for you to decide in hindsight what might have you done differently last night. It doesn't have to be the drinking thing, it could be anything really.
Oh, the drink in the hag's water.
Oh.
Oh. As I sit there looking at a plate of probably something fried, swimming in a pool of grease and butter with bread, stiff cup of coffee, you know, dirty bean water.
Mm-hmm.
I sit, kind of lean back in my chair, kind of letting the memories of last night slowly return through the miasma of what's left of my brain. And I realize, check my coin purse, realizing I'm 5 gold down. I really should not have bet on the hag water. Excuse me, a privy?
As you are at another tavern, let's have a look. Sandpoint. Let me have a quick look here. That's the player one. Sandpoint Legend. Because I'm pretty sure there is another tavern nearby.
Would it be the White Deer?
Yes, that's the one I'm thinking of. Thank you, Matt.
Welcome.
All right, the White Deer, an inn and tavern. This is the one in the northernmost side of town. Let's say you've wandered the wrong way, and that's where you've ended up. It is run by a man by the name of Garadan Viscalai. This individual is a Shawanti man, a large, tan-skinned individual with tattoos on a rather shaved head. He is quite well built and lean, and as he looks at you up and down, what was your request? Sorry.
To where the privies might be.
He
feel my toenails coming up.
He gestures to you over around back, and you can kind of tell he's not impressed. The White Deer is not like the highest of establishments, but definitely is one of the more popular places. There are, you know, families here. There are a few others. As you make your way to the privy.
I stumble around back. nothing actually comes up. It's that congealed mass in your lower, in your stomach that just doesn't want to move, but feels like it should. So I sit in the back, kind of on the back steps, recounting the events that night. Starting off, hearing that there might be some work coming up, but I went out to meet an old friend or a new friend or a friend or acquaintance, someone I knew, a person I just met at the Hag, trying to pass the evening. A couple of libations passed around, the betting started, the drinking started, the drinking continued, the drinking continued. And then just kind of snapshots of moving through Sandpoint, stumbling into wall, into, horse tie, into anything that would keep me somewhat upright until Brendan, Mr. Lee Mulligan, just sort of deflected me into the alley in which he found me the following morning. Just a place to keep me out of trouble. And let me stay there until time passed and I woke up in the morning.
Brilliant. That was a very long night, and more importantly, you do realize exactly how much Brennan had basically put themselves out for you that night. You know, it wasn't the only time he'd seen you. There was, like a definite vibe of, like, the drunk and disorderly that was definitely happening that night. But each and every time you remember you were pulled up by one of the guards, it was usually him, and usually he was the one who apologized for you and tried to get you back on the right road.
I realize nothing's coming up, and I need to get something in. Make note, when I feel better, to swing by guard tower and give my thanks. I stumble back in to finish breakfast. Tipping heavily when I'm done before I head off.
All right. As we then turn away from there, Cinderio.
Yes.
An early
Sorry.
start. Oh, sorry. An early start in your home. There is much to be done and many things to be seen. Could you describe your humble abode for me?
So it is very, very basic. It's probably only a couple of room little shack. Not much money going around, clearly. But everything itself appears to be neat and tidy in its place. But you can tell that while we live here, we're not here very often because we're usually too busy trying to work to make ends meet.
All right.
Cozy, but not very lived in, I think is probably the best way to say it.
Brilliant. Okay. The scene is yours. How do you start your day?
So, what's the weather outside this morning?
Very fine.
say?
Not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful sunny day.
So, the start of the day, Cinderella will be already looking to consider heading towards the temple to start her studies and everything like that. She typically walks there with her father, who is one of the groundskeepers, and as she sees the Sunday, she almost stops in the garden and just basks in the morning sunlight, almost in a little bit of a trance, as she appreciates the morning warmth start to come in and wash over her.
All right. As you do so, do you who do you live with?
I think we said it was just going to be her father, who's the groundskeeper for the temple.
No, that's fine. All right. As you do so, your father approaches. Morning, Cinder.
Morning,
And how are you today, my dear?
reaching another glorious sunshine as always.
Another glorious day. Though, can't say I overly expect much change in this town. After all, things are always bubbling beneath the surface. Sandpoint has a habit of this.
Yes. I guess that's why I enjoy these peaceful days, because... And she'll probably just twitch the head as the memory of that fateful day where she got the burns to her face flashes back through her head. Before the next unpleasantness arises.
Well, always stay vigilant, my daughter. It is never a bad thing to prepare for the eventual troubles that come in life. But one must be sure not to live for those troubles.
Yes, Dad.
Good. I heard that
As I
Father
imagine this
Xantus...
has probably been a regular story constantly from him.
I heard that Father Xantus called for you.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Well, I suppose it's a bit change of pace.
A change of
Not
pace
stu-
is... No, a change of pace
Not
is right.
not studying, not helping at the temple, depending. I suppose I don't really know what he wants yet.
Well, whatever it is, I'm sure you'll do fine.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't mess up.
You're my daughter. You're going to mess up. But, no matter what, you'll always pick yourself back up.
I know you've always tried to drum that into my head.
Well, you were always very studious. And sometimes the thing we don't study most is ourselves. And he sort of pats you on the back. Now come. Off you pop. As this happens, I've pulled out a sense of deja vu. If you could throw us a flashback towards the deja vu element. What comes across Cinder's mind?
Ooh. Oh, could go two ways with this. So, having just talked about and having that flashback of the getting burned and everything like that, her mind will flash back to the morning before everything happened of that day, where it was just like any other day, another nice, bright, sunshiny day. And she was walking to the temple with her father just to do her studies, almost like it is today. Granted, today, obviously, she's potentially doing something else, but the flashback of just being pushed out the door with her father, leading her on towards the temple. And it's something's going to happen. I don't know what.
With a certain sense of uncertainty, you make your way towards the temple. All right. Now, eventually, as you all begin to make your way through the streets of Sandpoint, you can see again just that liveliness that this town embodies through the people, through just the whole culture around you. You're greeted by so many of the townsfolk, share in so many stories for those of you who have been here as long as you have. Eventually, you come to the center of the northern part of town. The Sandpoint Cathedral. A beautiful, awe-inspiring building. Relatively recently built. Only the last 20 or so years since its construction. Made after the previous temple had burnt down under rather unfortunate circumstances. As you make your way towards the temple, the priests and the acolytes that are there, worshipping the various gods of Aresia, guide you towards the rear of the temple, where in which you are awaited for. By this gentleman. In hindsight, I actually hadn't opened any of my story stuff. I need to actually go get my book, so I'm going to be right back, because I forgot it. Okay, hold on. 2 seconds. Distract them!
So how's
that
that?
should-
What's that smell?
Ah, sorry.
I don't know if it's him or what he's pulled in on his feet from where he was.
All right, good job. Well done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could always describe what Peyton looked like because I never actually got to describe him.
Well, that was your own fault. Okay.
Yep.
So yes, you were called over by Father Xantus, who has in front of him a rather nice spread of breakfast foods laid out for each of you. As he welcomes you and invites you all to sit and enjoy. Some of you partake. Some of you have already eaten breakfast. But he looks onto you with a very warm smile. Now, Father Xantus is the spiritual leader of this town and has spent much of this time guiding the people of Sandpoint through these troubled situations that he has found himself in since his arrival, having replaced Father Toblin, the previous priest, who died in that horrible fire that destroyed the previous temple. Ziak, you haven't arrived yet, but the others have met up here. Father Xantus, as you are eating, turns to you and says, I think you are welcoming. It is very hopeful that when I put out the call for people who would be able to assist in this matter, that it was all of you who responded. My concerns are of a very spiritual nature. It is not often that I reach to others to help me in these matters. Of course, you can imagine being the head priest of the Temple of Desna. It is not often you require the assistance of others in the guidance of spiritualism. It goes to show, there's always going to be something that you will never be able to handle on your own. As this happens, Ziak, you enter into the scene, and Titus, who is seated by the others, sees you and waves you down. Ziak, over here, come here, sit down by me.
I walk over there.
He hands you.
I put my hand out.
He hands you the hat, and he goes, "Shh, quiet." He Father Xantus sees Ziak enter, but doesn't pay him any mind. Instead, warmly greets you as you enter. Now, I'm sure I don't need to tell you that Sandpoint has a long and sordid history, one written in tragedy and blood. Tell me, do you all know of the incidences that occurred here in Sandpoint 20 years ago?
But of course, says
What
Peyton with he'll not remembering.
What you call the late unpleasantness, right?
Yes, that is correct. You see, in the year 4702, a man by the name of Jervis Stute killed in cold blood 26 people in Sandpoint before taking his own life. Those who say they knew Jervis said he was a kind man, a gentle man, who was hiding some great pain. He used to carve wooden birds on the various buildings here in Sandpoint, saying that the wood would speak to him, and he would be releasing birds from their captivity. Such a man was turned and fell to a darkness which clouded Sandpoint. Not long after was the fire. He kind of turns to look at Cindriel and Peyton, but then very tastefully kind of acknowledges them with a glance, but then continues the story. The fire destroyed the previous cathedral, and it was thought that my predecessor, Father Toblin, and his daughter, Nualia, were both killed in the fire. But it was learned that that was not the case. I'm going to put some music on. It's very somber. There we go. But it was not as we had thought. Father Toblin did indeed die, but Nualia survived. More shockingly was the discovery that it was Nualia herself who set the blaze. She had a deep hatred for the town of Sandpoint. She raised an army of goblins under the guidance of the Mother of Monsters, the goddess Lamashtu, and tried to rid herself, sacrificing this town as a burnt offering to her depraved god. If it wasn't for the noble actions of a select few heroes of Sandpoint, the town would have been lost that day. But that brings us to where we are now, and why I have summoned you here. You see, over the past 17 years, I have thought long and hard on poor Nualia. And I believe that she did not deserve the fate which befell her. Not in truth. The heroes were forced. The rage that she kept within her was unabating. But it was not Nualia, for who that rage was forged. I only came to town after the fire which took my predecessor's life. But that does not excuse me from my responsibilities as a member of this town. After speaking with many people here, I learned that Nualia, well, even as a child, she was an outsider. Someone who was always seen as different. From the moment of her adoption, at the steps of the temple, Father Toblin would parade her around the town. A touch of the celestial was about Nualia, and he had used her and her supernatural appearance to curry favor, to ignite faith. This made the youngsters afraid of her, and the elders, well, let's just say that she had sacrificed much. One could easily see how a young person could learn to hate a town so fervently as she, after everything she went through. Even when she fell in love to a young boy, one who abandoned her and her unborn child. It was easy to see why after such great and terrible loss, Lamashtu sunk her claws into the vulnerable young woman. And I don't mean to excuse any of the atrocities that she did, or the lives that were lost in the coming conflicts. But, at the very least, as the current spiritual leader of this town, the least I feel I could do is ensure that poor Nualia is laid to proper rest. Some of the folks, they blanched at the idea of burying Nualia here in the graveyard. Not many could understand or forgive. But, at the very least, I feel like it is not enough to simply create ritualistic gestures. Not simply to bury her here in the graveyard, but for her spirit to also know that she has been forgiven, that she is absolved of the hatred and anger she left behind here. She was tormented her whole life, and the suffering she did is more than enough penance. She does not need to suffer in the afterlife as well. Father Xantus pauses to gauge your reaction. How do each of you react to this? Let's start with Sin, Durrell.
I'd imagine hearing it all back, she'll be very, very quiet, but there'll be like a slow tear going down her cheek as she remembers the history, and especially since you would have known Sevlis, although obviously she was a child.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
A music's
Yeah.
loud? Okay, hold on 1 second. Sorry. Thank you. Okay. So, you would remember Nualia as a young child. You remember her beautiful, almost like bleach blonde, almost white hair. Um, Adults were well known for like cutting strips off it for good luck. Many would like rough her up and scruff her for like again like kind of like that good luck as well. There are even young kids who would bully her because of all the attention that she was getting as well. There's that side of you that feels that strong sense of compassion for what she went through. In fact,
Yeah.
had she been alive, she'd probably be, like, again, like in the same sort of circles of friendship that you would be in as well. But the one thing you do recall more than anything else is that if she started the fire, that is the one that burned you.
Yeah.
You feel that ache, you feel that pain. If anyone had a reason to hate Nualia,
Yeah, and it's probably that tier which is the turn, because wanting to be good and forgive, but also remembering the pain and torment that that night caused, especially with the people that had been lost, the close friends at the time as well.
All right.
So it's almost an internal mental turmoil backwards and forwards.
I love that. Well done. Westonson, what about you?
So, how much of the history here is known to neighboring cities?
To neighboring cities, mostly just the big events. So you probably wouldn't know about Nualia and stuff like that, but you would know the temple burnt down. You would know that the heroes saved the town from goblins and giants and a bunch of other calamities as well. You'd know vague bits and pieces of that. Ironically, also the people who saved the town here were also people who unrooted a cult of serial killers in Magnamar as well. So the heroes themselves are much more known than these particular events. It's more like these are footnotes in their story.
So I'd be sitting there kind of with a morbid fascination about hearing details of the events that occurred around these events that moved and shaped the region that I've heard about. More importantly, now is not the time to throw up. Now is not the time to throw up. Now is not the time.
Especially with this smell of food.
Repeated in the back of my head.
All right. Ziak, what is your...
What's my thoughts? My thoughts is it sounds like this is a job for me. Like I could do this. I can get this accomplished. Yeah.
Okay. Peyton?
During the speech that he was talking when he was telling us about this, Peyton's just been fiddling and fidgeting with his pendant of his parents, thinking about that the whole time. But then talk of Nawalia, he goes and remembers how old was Nawalia again when before the fire had happened? Or when
Let's
that
see.
happened?
Nualia was...
Peyton was pretty young, especially if it was 20 years ago when that happened.
All right. Nualia was born... So she died at the age of 23, which
Okay.
was... hold on. So that was 17 years ago? So she was 23, 17 years ago.
23, 17 years ago.
So she'd be 40 right now.
Okay. So she was considerably older. Got it, when the fire happened.
Oh no, the fire happened 20 years ago. So yeah, so she would have
Yeah.
been 20 when the fire happened. Something like that.
Gotcha. Okay. You know how when some kids have a favorite adult, that's not necessarily your parents, like a favorite person to hang around.
Yeah.
almost like, yeah. So Noalia, when Peyton was a kid, kind of looked up to her. Noalia would kind of help my parents out. They were not necessarily priests, whatever. They were the I don't I don't know the job or the name, whatever. What's under priest?
Sorry.
What's under priest? Like, what are their helpers? I don't remember the
Acolyte,
names of
I
them.
think maybe.
Yeah. My parents were acolytes to the priest.
I mean, there can be
as I
multiple.
was there.
There can be multiple priests as well. You know, like
Oh, okay.
there's like so the Temple of Sandpoint worships all of the Varisian gods, like you know
Yeah.
Abdar and Aristol and Desna and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
So there'd be multiple priests.
So,
Father Xantus is just kind
my-
of the most prominent one, who's like in the center
Gotcha.
of it
Okay, so my parents would have been priests of Aristil then.
Sure.
Because that's also who I worship. So, but as a kid, I was also the type of kid to like to wander. So I'd run out to town, and when I'm not supposed to leave, and I was out in town when the fire happened. So when I was at the orphanage, I would probably hang out around Noalia most of the time. Probably Cindereal a lot as well. But then hearing about the fire and that Noalia was the one who started it, it goes it's a little bit of confusion, like a
You would have
hatred
heard
upon
that
this.
you would have heard about that before.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
no, I know the
Oh, when you found out.
yeah, when I found out
Yep.
that so Peyton has a mixed feelings for Nawalia. Like, he's fond of her, and at the same time he hates her because she was the one who killed his parents. But he also can't hate her because she was the favorite adult. So he's in a mixed matched up of what he wants to do, but at the same time, the church has helped him growing up, and so he wants to help the church for sure. So whatever they decide to do is all good by him.
All right.
But he's still there fidgeting.
Okay, Navander.
Navanda very deliberately examines a mushroom that's on his plate. So what you're telling me, Father, is that you want us to go to that place, bring her back, and put her here.
Oh, no, she's... Well... He seems to be caught. Not quite. Her body was already buried here. But of this task, I've only spoken with one other. A friend of mine named Adrani. You see, Nualia has been dead for nearly 2 decades, but time doesn't pass the same way it does for the living as it does for the dead. Adrani knows a ritual which can put us in contact with the spirits of the dead. In her latest letter, she said that she was willing to perform this ritual, and she would do so on her arrival next. There I can offer my apologies to Nualia and forgive her. But I don't know if that'll be enough to help her, or even to stave off the torment she has in her afterlife. But I do know that if nothing is done, then Sandpoint and its leaders will have failed her yet again. But, well, this is where things get complicated. In order for Adrani's ritual to succeed, I need a physical link to Nualia's soul. Since it has been so many years, her belongings are now long since gone, leaving behind only the mortal remains we have buried in the graveyard. As loath as I was to exhume her body, it was necessary to the ritual to give her my forgiveness. But when we opened her grave, we made an awful discovery. Her coffin was empty, tunneled into from below, so that when we reached it, the whole grave caved in. Naffer and I were fortunate enough to escape without much harm, but now there's a hole where her grave used to be, a hole which leads underground to a tunnel beneath the boneyard.
So, you want us to go down the hole, grab a piece of Dwali's corpse, and bring it back here to use to conduct this ritual. Listen, Father, I'm a simple man. I don't know this whole. I don't have the quite grasp of what you're talking about in regards to eternal torment and Are you saying that there's like she might be a ghost hanging around somewhere, just in pain or something?
Yes, precisely this. You see, when we die and pass on, Pharasma, the goddess of death, ensures that we go to our rightful resting place. But some who follow the darker path do not find this resting place easily. Lamashtu, the goddess she worshipped, is the goddess of mothers and monsters. I fear that Nawalia is fueled by anger and resentment for this town, and this is causing her much suffering in the afterlife. It is that I wish to end. As for the digging up of the graves, I do not simply wish to find a piece of her. I would like to put all of her to rest if I could. However, there's one problem with that. You take a moment to consider. Anyone who wishes to may make a religion check. First roll of the game, people!
Woo!
Woo!
Let's see if it's as good as the first roll of extension cards.
Oh!
That is as well.
I'm muted! Oh my god!
Pew, 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 pew.
First roll is a net
Look
20.
at you guys. Look at you
Yeah,
guys all go. First roll was an at
It
20.
was. Yeah. And the first roll of extension course was in that 20 as well.
Was it?
Yeah, it was me avoiding Echo. So he tried to
Oh, yes,
do
you're right, you're
mischief.
right. No, you're right. Anyone else going to roll a religion check?
Too busy focused.
Okay, very well. With the three of you, you do make your religion check, and all three of you realize there is only one manner of creature within this area that would likely be responsible for such a gruesome and grisly task as digging up corpses and absconding with them. You realize that the only thing that would likely be able to do this would be some ghouls. Flesh-eating scavengers that lurk in graveyards. Ghouls are undead that have risen due to an evil and malicious curse, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's an affliction that affects them.
Knowing this now, I stand up and I'll be like, "All right, point me the direction. I'm going hunting. Who's coming with me?"
I'm in. I don't like it, but I'm in.
Yeah. You get a very questioning. He's very eager to go down into the dark. Look, there's also
Very.
a nodding.
If we go down this hole, if we are fighting ghouls, I'm sure there's some sort of magic you can cast on us to protect us from such things.
Well, yes, but anything I would be able to cast upon you would not necessarily last as long. There is, however, a friend who you can talk to. The church will compensate you for anything you wish to purchase, but there is a small store where you can acquire more than a few items. He gives you the address of the store.
It's best we go into this prepared.
Mhm.
Also, I don't know half of you. So,
Well, I'm sure you can make introductions once you're on your way. There is still much to be done, and quite honestly, I'm still tending to Ness and his wounds. They may not be dire, but they do still need to be taken care of.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, should probably go pick up some provisions before we go. I mean, I think.
I think before we leave, because I believe Peyton always makes his morning trips to the church anyways every morning before work, or at least when he gets paid. I don't know if today was one, but I will still do it anyway. I'm going to go to wherever their donation box is and donate 3 silver.
All right, done and done. 3 silver is donated to the church.
I would donate more, but I think 3 is actually a bit for even how much I get paid.
Fair enough. All right. Anyone else doing anything?
Not being. Oh yeah, I stand up, brush myself off. As I'm stomping out, I'll gesture some loose change, about 2 or 3 silver from my hand. Let's say 3, into the donation bin as I stalk out of the church.
All right.
well, I guess that settles it. Xantus, good day. See you in a
He
bit.
he bows and nods. And thank you again, all of you. All
So
right.
is the boneyard, is the graveyard he was talking about with the hole, is that where the boneyard is?
Yes.
Okay, so he wants to go there. Okay, then I can wait till later to do that too.
All right. Do you want to go speak to this this person that he's mentioned?
Yes.
Yeah.
The yeah, shop dude or wait. It was
All right. You begin to make your way to the shop. On the way, you can do your introductions if you'd like.
Well, since we're all likely going to be dying together, or at least hurting together, my name's Westinson. Yeah,
I know you. I've seen you before.
Oh yeah. You probably have.
I help you almost once a week for sure, if not more than that.
Yep. Probably.
That explains the smell.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
tried to tackle that hagfish water. That was not good.
I figured 7th time's the charm.
Good on you though.
So yeah.
Thanks for nickling.
I'm passing with a gun. Passable with a gun. That's the term.
Oh god,
Yeah.
it's right. I remember you firing that thing too.
It spooks people. It's got a
Yeah, it does. Keep
noise
that
to
thing in when you're at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh
Spe- Speaking of, my name's Peyton. I am a bartender at the Hagfish. I also often help out around town if I'm able to. And I help the church, possibly because I once lived there. So, but now I live at the Hagfish, so you'll find me most often there.
That's probably why we haven't met.
Probably. I think I've seen you around though.
I hope
Come to
so.
walk. I go on walks, so.
You doing alright, Sinduro? I know it's quite a lot of info dumped at you at the same time.
Well, yes, but this is a little bit different for temple life than your day-to-day fare. As she's just looking around, so almost a bit stunned, thinking, "Am I really doing this?"
And Evander
Cinderella again.
I think Zayak is like in the front of you guys, and he's just like he doesn't even look at you guys, and he's just like, "Yes, I'm Zayak," and he just keeps going forward, just not looking back, just like
The Zayak?
straight forward.
Does anyone
That's none of my business.
Yeah. I was going to
Huh?
say, should any of us have actually questioned the fact that he came in looking like a Kolos because he didn't
I
have his
mean,
hat
people look like that coming into my bar all the time, and I don't ask questions.
Oh, I haven't put that hat on yet.
You look
Oh, you
like
didn't?
The
You
hat
look-
I had on was my regular hat.
Oh, you're
on?
muted.
You're
Michael.
muted.
All right, didn't we say that your hat was the like the magic hat
Yeah.
was your regular hat?
Oh, did we? No, the guy just like gave it to me.
Yeah,
In
but
the-
remember we
Yeah.
were all like, otherwise you've just got this hat you're never wearing that actually has this really useful power that you should actually really totally have because you're a monster and people will likely
Yeah.
burn and stake you and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, Nevada is looking you up and down and judging how well he can take you.
No, oh fine, we'll make it my regular hat then.
Oh, what a great idea!
So we
I
should all have
walked
been
in
shocked that you came
looking
in.
like I
Yeah.
came in as a gnoll, and then I put a hat on, and then I just looked like your race, whatever you're looking at.
This guy seems a bit sus. Cinderella, can you do the mind thing?
Oh, hang on.
Mind thing?
We don't know what he can do. Wait, he can do mind. She can do mind things. Cinderella, when could you do mind things?
Can you do any mind things?
Me, no.
I can mind
I mean, I can
things.
do things to your mind.
What mind things?
I mean,
I don't know.
That's what priests do, right? They talk to people's minds, right?
What are
No.
you guys talking about back there?
What-
How
what-
out of how
what
out
sort
of
of
how out
pri-
of touch is Navander?
It'd just be what sort of priest have you been
Been living
speaking
on the
to?
river.
That's what I'd like to know.
He never even came into town.
You sure it's not fortune tellers?
I'm beginning to
We-
think there's another
beat
cult
up with
we
a-
have to find in the city. One that the
He beat up
vendor
an
is
ogre,
associated with.
got married, and then just lived on the out of town forever.
You know, that priest with a big red robe out back that keeps talking and whispers that to me at night. That priest mind things.
Suspicious.
As Westonson is
Okay,
walking down
yeah.
the road and slowly sobering up,
Mhm.
his armor and weapons disappear. And he's dressed in regular clothing with a long coat.
2?
All right, very well. Do you want to elaborate on where they go?
I remember that I have my ring of. As I become sober, I remember that I have
Yeah.
my ring of discretion.
Oh yeah.
Mostly
and
because I'd
remember to
like to.
activate it.
Also, I'd like to just because I'd like to remind you that the audience isn't privy to your character sheet, which is why we need
Yes.
to articulate what we're doing instead of be like, "Look at the shady bullshit that I have."
Yeah.
Nevada will see Ziak go from a knoll to a person thing, and then Wenson's gear seems to disappear in front of him. Sure, okay. What have I walked into?
Peyton just
Yeah,
smiled at Westonson as he walks away because he knows what he did. Because Peyton
Mhm.
also has one.
I also always forget about it when I'm drunk. And as I sober up, I remember that.
So the audience that wasn't here last week. So every character thinks I'm their race. So just to
he's got a-
clarify to the. So Peyton, you're a human, right?
You're human to me, yeah.
Yeah, I look like a human. To Western, I look like a dwarf.
Very beauty human. And the Cinderella, you're an elf.
Yep.
All right. Anything else anyone wants to do or talk about or introduce?
No, let's get to the shot. If anybody else.
Peyton, are you actually going to do your character visualization? Because I missed
Oh
it.
yeah. So yeah, I guess I could do it now. So beneath the what was it? What we just called the ring of I have the ring of discretion. Upon Peyton, well, I'll start with clothing. So he's got like a black leather vest with a red undershirt. Under it, some tattered leggings, held up by a belt. On the belt, he's got a pair of knuckle dusters, some red knuckle dusters that he goes and puts on whenever he thinks he can easily take someone. And then upon his back, he's got a Leomano that almost looked like it's got hooked shark teeth on it. And it's just kind of upon his back that he kind of uses when he thinks someone or the group or himself is in trouble. When he thinks something's stronger than him, he'll be like, well, time to bring out the big guns kind of thing. But he usually just keeps them hidden on him, so no one sees it coming. And yeah, so that's why he knew that when Weston's gear all of a sudden disappeared, he kind of smiled and as he knew what he did.
Okay.
Yep.
I also don't think Westonson would think to try to conceal the activity. He probably looked down at his gloved hand, saw the ring on. Oh yeah, turned it on as he was walking.
Oh, the ring. Sorry, OG. The ring, it conceals all your weapons and armor that it's on you, making it look like regular clothing and kind of turning all the items invisible. It hides the weapons and the armor.
Which is really
But when you
awkward
grab-
if the only
yeah.
thing you're wearing is armor.
But when you grab the weapon, yeah, and then when you grab the weapons to use them, they reappear, and when you put them back, after a minute, they disappear. So, yep, that's all.
Okay. Eventually, you come to the edge of town where there is a strange and very interesting smelling shop. As you enter, the jingle of the little bell that hangs over the roof, a silver bell for those of you who are paying attention, seems to be covered in these strange and bizarre looking plants. On every wall, on every surface, there are more varieties of herbs and the like, and on the counter where one would normally have like a kind of like a greeting desk and stuff like that, instead what you see is a workstation where someone is tirelessly working on what looks to be like some sort of herbal medicine. And that is where you see on the other side of the counter this figure. Bear with me for 2 seconds. Have to put these in the right places, that's all. Otherwise, I will never find it again. There we go. Okay. Thank you. All right. And le voila. All right. There you go. You see this individual.
Who is this?
This is Misha Starweaver. The name of her shop is Starweaver's Herbs, Potions, and Apothecary. As she looks over in your direction, she welcomes you and says... Sorry, give me 2 seconds. Also gonna get this going. And she says... Here it is.
Ah, welcome. It's so good to see so many familiar faces. How can I help you today?
Anisha. Hello.
Payson? I trust you're doing well.
Yes. I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
We're here for a job today.
I see. Well, if you're looking for work, I'm afraid I don't have any. Especially not for you.
Oh, I didn't ask for your work.
I'm sorry.
Um,
I'm sorry to interrupt before Peyton makes it to us. We've been given a mission from the temple, from the cathedral. Do you have anything that could help against undead ghouls, anything like that?
Oh, for Father Xantus.
Indeed.
yeah, I was gonna get there.
Yeah, well, at least one of you will.
Hmm.
So, I do have a few remedies and concoctions that may be of use to you, especially battling the undead. Where did I leave those? Oh, yes, that's right, over here.
Immediately, she begins to make her way over to a mismatched and disorderly series of potions and the like. Gathering them up, she presents you with the following. Everyone will gain a potion of healing, lesser.
Ooh.
Everyone will gain 2 glass bottles containing holy water.
Oh, nice.
You
letters.
also gain... Let's see. 1 bottle of anti-plague for each of you. And between the group,
Yes.
there it is.
And
You said
between-
lesser?
sorry, of anti-plague?
Yeah.
Yes, lesser anti-plague.
You said 2 of them? just one of
No,
them?
1 each.
Okay.
So I'm going to reiterate that again, just because freaking... So,
Yeah, sorry.
everyone's got 1 bottle of lesser healing potion. Everyone has 1 bottle of holy water. Everyone has 1 bottle of lesser anti-plague. Then among the group, you have 2 salves of anti-paralysis. And she's also going to provide you with grave dirt. It's like a small jar of grave dirt.
Okay. Let's put
Uh,
that in here.
So for the grip stuff, should we just use the part inventory to make it easier for
Yes.
everyone?
Yep, party inventory is good.
Okay. I'll start on that.
Now, Peyton,
hmm
let's see if we can figure out why Mist. What was her name?
Misha.
Misha. Why Misha hates you?
Who too?
All right.
I have some
I don't hate her.
suggestions.
Pardon? What was
Like,
that?
I don't hate her, but yeah, she probably hates me.
Let's see. All right. We have rebellious youth.
Oh.
We have dream. We have kept secret. And we have. Oh, fuck. Lust. All right.
Oh.
So, chat, those options for you to let me know, why does Misha hate Peyton? Is it because of a kept secret? Is it because of a dream? Is it because of a rebellious youth? Or is it because of lust?
Lust. I mean,
All right, chat, let me know. We've got. And yes, the players are allowed to vote as well, but, you know, we prioritize,
no.
obviously, our audience.
I feel like I shouldn't vote on this, so
You can if you want.
because it has to deal with me. I don't want to have to choose.
Sure,
It's
sure.
up to me.
Oh, Peyton lusts after. I like that. Okay, okay. Secrets. All right. All right, looks like Secrets is taking the lead on that one. Filthy hobbits. What does Peyton's has in its filthy pockets? All
Not
right. All right, a kept secret. So,
Ooh.
Peyton and Misha, both of you grew up in the town. Both of you actually grew up in the orphanage. However,
Mhm.
along the way, Peyton, you were entrusted with something, a secret, which you broke.
Oh
She
no.
never forgave you,
Mm.
and you lost your childhood friend.
No.
She she just doesn't like you. And also she doesn't like
Damn
the fact
it.
that you're a thug. You beat up people.
No, I know that part.
You're,
That part's
yeah,
understandable.
you're literally like betrayed her and went down a dark path. So your friendship pretty much ended at that point. She doesn't hate you, but she
Yeah.
definitely, you know, it's that whole
Doesn't like
thing.
me.
It's she
Yeah.
she just doesn't like you.
She's not mad. She's just disappointed.
She's
Exactly,
disappointed.
Yeah. You know, because I was gonna go with a dream, like maybe like the dream was like she got a vision of like something bad you were gonna do, and if I was gonna do a rebellious youth, you both got in trouble and you like basically like threw her under the bus. Oh no, actually no, probably you took the fall for something, but she hated you for doing that. And then I think
Oh.
if I went with lust, it would have like been you guys dated, but then kind of broke up. But yeah, I'm glad we went with the secret one. So yeah, you failed to keep a secret, and that is why. All right.
You jerk.
So you guys, yes, sorry, Brock.
Can I roll? Can I roll my extraordinary lore to know the weakness of ghoul?
The weakness of ghouls. Sure. What's the lore check? Sorry, it's the esoteric. Yeah, esoteric
Yeah.
lore. Yeah, sure. I'm happy for that. But yeah, no, you don't learn anything extra from that. Yeah, your religion tells you about how to deal with undead, so stuff like that, like again, holy water, things like that. But you learn nothing extra about ghouls specifically. All right.
While we're here,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I will peruse the shelves to restock my alchemist supplies, my alchemy supplies while I'm here.
Okay.
Just to buy additional alchemical resources and just.
Sure, not a problem. We'll just blanket statement say that you've purchased what you need to, and we'll do that in the in between. I'll say, is anyone trying to like steal anything or put anything out of place?
Mm-mm.
Oh no, I would never steal from her.
Okay, good. Above the door is actually something very unique, and I'm gonna add this. An OG, if you could be so kind as to, take a little note of this, maybe put it in the Discord chat that we've started. There is a wooden crow that is up here. Now, this is a very controversial feature of this shop because it is a animated familiar. It is a wooden familiar. It does move and observe and is basically security of the shop. But B, it was also one of the last carvings made by Jervis Stute, the serial killer from the late Unpleasantness. One of the last birds he freed. Now, many people have snapped off, broken, or cut or burnt off the sculptures that he made, but Misha never did, and it's above the door. Also, there's a cat in here as well, a beautiful black cat. Black cat, OG. Yeah. And it is lounging about, watching you as you peruse. But if there's nothing else, she
I mean,
I tried
I
to-
always.
Oh
I
yeah.
was
try to
gonna
pet
say,
the kitty.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let's start with Rock. Rock, what do you say?
I think I have a Zayak kind of has a bond for cats, so he's gonna try to pet the cat, but cautiously because he knows animals that don't know him. So he does
So
the
your
fist
hat,
thing.
yeah. So your hat works on a lot of things, but I'm gonna say that creatures with a good sense of smell can identify you pretty easily. You
Yeah.
can make me a survival check, which is our equivalent of
Okay.
animal handling, to see how you fare against said tiny kitty catty. As Ziak reaches over to pat the lounging cat. With a 17, you know what? The cat is okay. It's calm, it's happy. It starts to purr and rumble beneath your paws as you stroke it.
Good kitty. You're pretty.
All right. Peyton?
Well, for all the times that Peyton has come to visit Misha,
What?
to
Well, yeah,
at least
every time you would have visited, she would have thrown you out because you didn't buy anything, and she's sick of seeing your face.
yeah, I would have still said hi to the cat because it's like it's her cat. I just kind of waved to it.
This person
to
does not
acknowledge.
understand boundaries.
Uh,
The cat. Make a survival check with a -4.
-4. All right.
Yes, you can. By the way, Khan, you can spend dag bucks everywhere.
18.
18? Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, so the cat will still let you pet it. You can probably tell this is earning you more disapproval from Misha. But she obviously knows you're in the company of customers, and she has no intention of trying to ruin her reputation by by falling for your provocations. Cinderiel, anything while you're in the shop?
I was going to say she would have gone for the cat, but everyone else went for the cat, so she'll just back off because she doesn't want to crowd the cat, seeing everyone jump towards cat.
All right. Well, once you've done petting this poor woman's cat, she gives you the supplies, and you do tell her that Father Xantus had already made arrangements. She says there's not a problem. She'll sort all that out, and good luck with whatever you're doing. She knows you're after ghouls, but is still gonna wish you luck anyway. as you leave, the bell rings again, and the crow looks to Misha and says, "Ah, well, at least you've got some customers today." She turns back to the crow.
Yes. But I feel like I might need to be making more things. There's a bad omen lurking over them. The scent of death.
Yeah, sorry, that's just me.
Ah, why do you always have to say creepy shit like that? As the crow sort of like shuffles and scurries itself, Mesha sort of hisses at the cat. Sorry, not the cat, the bird a little bit, as she then goes behind the desk and continues to make her remedies and her cures. And of course, yes, for those of you who haven't figured it out already, Misha is the NPC donated by OG Lava Kitten, who is now a official character within the town. And in fact, so official, I'm going to give Misha a shop.
Ooh.
Okay, so we're gonna add like a little note here. So here we go. Notable new NPCs. Oh, sorry, actually, you know what? No. Misha Starweaver. Apothecary. Misha Starweaver. Human. Witch, maybe. Alchemist. Pet. Cat. What's the pet cat and the pet crow's name? Misha runs the local...
Midnight.
Midnight? No, I was asking OG, because OG paid for it, so she gets it.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, she could
I
take
heard Midna.
things.
I was like, whoa.
Misha runs a local herbologist. She is friendly to most customers, but has a deep dislike
Andromeda.
of Peyton and the dock workers.
The cat. It's called Kitty and the cat.
Peyton and Misha grew up at the orphanage, but Peyton betrayed Misha by revealing a deep secret. A secret.
And you've got the pet names.
All right, there we go. The crow is Corvus.
Alright, the cat's up.
And the cat is Andromeda. Done and done. Sweet. Cool. So that is there. Herbologist.
I was waiting for you to actually say what our address was on the map.
I am. Wooden crow, carved by Jervis Stute. Done. Herbologist, potions, alchemical goods. Done. Attitude, mostly positive. Done. All right. And then I will say that we are going to put this. So there's Father Santos. This is the trade district. I'd say she's a little bit off the trade district. Maybe near the... Wouldn't have a corner block. Yeah, right here. All right. That is right there. Misha Starweaver's Apothecary. And I'll share this for my players so they can see where it is exactly. Done. Cool. Cool.
Yay.
Cool. All right.
We have some map.
Meanwhile, we now turn our attention back towards the graveyard, back to the open tomb that lies beneath the Sandpoint Boneyard. There, in the dark. Oh, come on, give us a taste. Just a little taste. I'm famished. I haven't had something good to eat in so long. No! Don't fucking touch it. You know the rules. He wants it intact. Oh, but why? Why? Why is not for you to ask, you fucking idiot. If you cross him, it's gonna be you that's on the menu. You hear me, boy? Oh, I need to sink my teeth into something soon. Just the rip and the tearing. Oh, I need it. You'll get yours soon. Soon. The surface folk, they're not ready for what's to come. And with that, we end today's session.
Oh.
Yay!
Yay!
Fun.
All right, great
And no
session
one
one,
died.
everyone. And again, boom! The 7 dooms of Sandpoint. Woo! Pop, 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 pop. Okay, also, honest review about the module on Fantasy Grounds. Because it's not an adventure path, the module is laid out like this at the moment, which it doesn't have actually a chapter for the story beats. I actually have to go into the reference manual and then actually browse the book like manually through here instead of just getting the cliff notes on all the different bits and pieces. So I'm a little bit bummed out about that in terms of Fantasy Grounds. So if you do see me like reading the book while I'm doing stuff, please know that I have read the book already. I'm just refreshing and I'm making sure that I know and I don't miss any story beats. Because I normally hate, like, when I am talking on stream, I really hate being able to do this because this is very uninteresting and you guys get to see just the top of my fucking head, you know? But yes, unfortunately for this particular adventure, I am going to be hugging my book a little bit. I will see if I can figure out something. Maybe I can figure out a way to just get the PDF up, but I've already got so much stuff going, so apologies for that. But I hope you guys had a good time. Before we kick off,
Yeah, that was good.
guys, let's throw out some feedback here real quick on session 1 of our adventure. How do you feel about the session? I'm always very nervous, especially when I have a session that breaks up everyone into their individual start scenes. But I also know that there's always a large bit of exposition followed by, like, you know, hi, my name is Bill. Bill is wearing a hat, yada, yada, yada. So the session 1 usual stuff. So how do you guys feel Do you guys feel connected to your characters? Do you guys feel like,
Yeah.
the story's good? Let's start with Schoolie Eye.
Yeah, so hopefully everyone in chat already got a bit of a feel for how close Sin is to the temple and the history as well. And
Yeah.
it sounds already quite involved with the first quest quite drastically.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I remember reading about how Sin and Peyton both were directly revolved around the fire, specifically that event, because I basically only said that they needed to be in town or have a connection to the town. They're the ones who came up with that, and when they came up with that, I already knew that first quest to go and forgive Nualia. The reason Father Xantus chose you to was specifically because that forgiveness can also come from the two of you as well. And so I love that setup. That is just an amazing one as well. So yeah, great. I'm glad you enjoyed it and connected with it. Westonson.
Yes. Great fun. I'm now trying to figure out whether or not I need a chart for the number of times I've vomited on a party member.
It's fair. I'd probably say this. I was talking about this actually yesterday over on Careful Cantrip. Make sure that with the gimmick of being overly drunk or stuff like that, and I know you think you know what I'm going to say, but you don't. Because here's what's going to happen. I'm not going to say don't act overly drunk. What I am going to say is make sure that the responses aren't just a reactionary response for what does drunk sound. Because for me, it's a mixture of things, like being able to have those fluctuations in your personality, who you are. For example, as you sober up, maybe there's a lot of pain that you're suffering, to express that as well. If there are people who have offered you a sympathetic hand, such as Brennan, maybe there is a way you interact with them very differently. You know what I mean? So there's multifacets to it, and I just want to, say that I love the character and I love the way it's going to go, but just err on the side of caution of simply constantly acting hungover or drunk versus
Yeah.
rolling it into stuff. And I know you're experienced enough to know this. It's just also a PSA for the little kiddies at home.
I was also thinking Westonson is still was a guard for a very long time. There's going to be a level of professionalism when he's on a job that I think will start kicking in, and so he'll become sober. And then when he gets back to town, the temptation comes up again, and might slide back down.
Mm-mm. I also love I want you to create a drink. It's called Hair of the Bugbear.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the morning after things, we'll have you like on a quest for Hair of the Bugbear. Yeah.
Can we never finish it?
Yeah.
Every
I love
morning he's looking for ingredients and just never manages to find it all.
That. Yeah, that's it. And one of the main ingredients is literally the hair of a bugbear.
Bugbear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for you to actually ask all of us, all the rest of the party members, to try and make it for you and fail abysmally.
Oh yeah, and everyone just does it differently. That's amazing. All right. Then of course, Sean, how did you feel like your first game went? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, great, fantastic. No, I really thought too. I love the bit how you you immediately started off connecting with Rock's character. That was really, really good. A very bold strategy there. And I really got to feel like more important than your story was celebrating your party story. So well done. Like fucking top tier role playing right there, Titus. So mean. All right, Ziak. Rock.
Yeah.
The question was, did you enjoy the session? How do you feel about the start? And do you feel connected to Ziak now? Like, how do you feel?
The session was good. I don't think I'm fully into his. Like, I'm still learning things about him.
Sure. Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Yeah.
I think we've spoken about that before. About obviously you as a role player are a little quieter when you get into that stage. I think with Ziak, remember vocalize your internal monologues and your internal thought processes. Even if it sounds like you are unsure, it actually gives a lot of depth to your character. So things like Ziak's not quite sure what to say, but all he can think of is focusing on killing ghouls. He's not comfortable around people, but he knows monsters, and he is absolutely going to hunt this monster down.
Well, I'm playing. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, like I was saying. So even though you, Rock, don't necessarily have to have Ziak go into Ziak mode and then start role playing, it still gives the audience that kind of like really nice insight into it and helps build it for you as well. Like you start to think, what is Ziak thinking? How is he thinking? What's he moving? What's he doing?
Right now, he's very cautious of the whole party. He doesn't, he's not there.
I mean, express it in game at the table, not in the after thing as a.
Yeah,
oh, by the way,
sorry.
yeah. No, it's fine. I just more mean that's gonna help you connect a little bit more.
That was that moment when we were walking away from the temple, and I said he's just walking forward and he's not paying attention to the other, and he just says his name.
Yeah, but see how that doesn't say what's going through your mind. That just says you're not saying anything. So what you want to do is have that moment where you're saying, I'm walking and I'm not paying attention. That is because Ziak is thinking this. You need to bring us and the audience into your mindset. Otherwise, you're just not doing anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Think TV show, the internal monologue that you hear on screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, my brain's going outward. Okay, I get it. Okay.
Correct. And I think that'll help you connect as well a lot more too. All right, Neil.
Yeah.
Same questions.
It's the same kind of thing. I mean, I'm kind of learning to, as I go, Peyton. I mean, I kind of imagined him in my head how he would kind of act one way. Changing his Hero Forge image did kind of throw me off guard, but at the same time, I always because the picture is half the role play, in my opinion.
Mhm.
So it was a little bit of a throw off, and I was like, oh, I don't know, but I do enjoy this Peyton. I think it's funny,
I
but
think
also a little sad
so.
at nights.
I think you are at odds with what you want. I think the way you behave
Yeah.
and the way you write your story are two almost diametrically opposed things, right? Because I remember
Right.
last time, the reason why you have this Hero Forge mini, by the way, is because you were talking about how your guy was a giant, intimidating badass.
Well, not
That
like
was
intimidating
those
in
were
tone,
the
but
those were
like
the
to
very
pain.
poignant, descriptive points of Peyton, which is why he ended up
Anyway,
being a thug in the Hagfish. But the way
I
you role
imagine
played,
when I first made him,
yeah,
I imagined he like after making him, and then I was at work, and I was like, oh, he kind of looks a little like Aladdin. That's kind of how I imagined him at first, was like an Aladdin character. But
oh yeah, I could see that.
I don't know.
Yeah. As for the yeah, so here's the question: are you happy with him as the tough?
Yeah, I
Or,
like.
or
It's
well,
it's
because today's role play, would you say that Peyton was super tough, super
no,
intimidating?
it was more like he's. It's kind of
He's
a.
not.
I'm still trying to figure out how to be intimidating with him, but yeah, he's not
Yeah,
intimidating.